Hello, my ravens. I just thought I would make a video about something that happened to me recently, and it kind of gave me the perspective that I needed at that time. So I wanted to share it with you and see if it could possibly help any of you. I'm about to head to sleep, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this video first. So for those of you who are active in my Discord and in my life, you know that last week was absolutely terrible for me. It was an absolute nightmare. It was it was it was the type of week where you wake up every morning and not only do you dread going to work, but you're exhausted just thinking about the things that you will have to do during the day. And then after every meeting you go through, you're literally just cursing your life. Or you're cursing your work, I guess, and you're wishing and wondering that you could be any place but here. And I mean place figuratively because we're at home right now. We're working from home, and I just mean the job. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about my job right now. It's not what I want to do with the rest of my life. And to be completely honest, I find more fulfillment in streaming and in the things that I use my time for that are related to streaming, and my YouTube and the Ravens Real Talks and spending time with you guys and building a connection and working on my art, thinking about ideas for my business, my DIY art selling business that I haven't done anything towards that, so I'm slacking. But see, it's like things like that where I'm like, I'm spending all of this time, this 9 to 5, excuse me, on a job that I'm not particularly excited about, I'm not very fond of. And imagine I could spend all that time that I spend at work, but towards things that actually make me happy and things that actually I'm passionate about. So all of these things were going through my head. I was feeling extremely crappy. I was getting unreasonable deadlines. It was too much work for me, just constantly piling on. And I felt suffocated and overwhelmed. And when I was feeling like that, I also started kind of doubting myself and my work ethic and my ability, my abilities, my how I was as a worker. I was like, I'm just a crappy worker. And I just started going down this terrible, bad hole that I think a lot of us have experience with when we're unhappy with one thing. We just kind of look everything we look at everything in our life with that same lens, and then we start to internalize it, and we start to feel like there's a direct correlation between that and the type of person that we are, and then we don't feel so great about ourselves and all of that. And then when we're not given the tools and training to succeed in our roles, that affects our outlook of our own competence. Like, we feel incompetent, and no one likes to feel like they're unable to complete their job or they're unsuccessful in their role. No one likes to feel that way. At least people that care about their job, like doing well. So that's how I was feeling last week, and like for the beginning portion of the week, it was really bad. So for any of you who can relate, I get it. I get it. I've been there, and I don't think this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna feel it. I think it's kind of like a cycle, it just happens. Anyways, I was feeling that way. And then the person that was helping me with, luckily, I was able to get in touch with someone who was helping me with completing the task that I was having difficulty with. And you know what? You know what? She's the type of person that will keep it real, real. Okay? She's like slightly spooky. Spooky boogie. She's slightly spooky in the sense that she's like very blunt and straight up, and sometimes she can get a little scary and mean and kind of like seem rude and snappy. So for a person like her to kind of say this, I 100% knew that she wasn't just saying that for the sake of saying that. She said, don't stay in this role for too long. I really believe in you, and she didn't say I believe in you. She said, don't stay in this role for too long. I think that you're very intelligent and you're very smart. You catch on things quicker than I've ever seen. There's people that I've trained, there's people that I've helped, there's my coworkers that I work with that specialize in this, and you have caught things faster than them, and you catch things that they don't catch. And she said a few other things like that, and you guys have no idea how that felt to hear. Like, I almost cried because it was almost like I was at such a low point and I was having such negative thoughts about myself. And then when she said that, it really dragged me out from that, hole that I was in and I was letting myself stay in. It dragged me up and it gave me that confidence and that energy to push forward, to get through the rest of the week. And there's 2 takeaways from this, sharing this. 1, if you feel that way about someone, you never know if they're in a situation where they need to hear that. So do your own stop, drop, and loves. Do those little bits of encouragement, bits of sharing your energy with people. You never know if they'll need it. She could have kept that to herself. She didn't have to tell me that. But she made it clear that I shouldn't stay in this role and I should move on to bigger and better things. And it helped me get my drive back to continue. And the other takeaway that I'd like to share is, for me, you don't have to be religious or believe in God to be able to relate to this. But the way I looked at it is God was looking out for me and kind of giving me a message that I needed at that time. And it was like his way of letting me know, like, listen, I've got a plan. You're not going to be here forever. Don't worry. This is just a momentary thing. You just got to go through the motions, learn what you can, build yourself stronger, build that resume, get those skills, and you're going to have something better. I have something for you. I think that I know that you're, or like the way I looked at it was that's how I looked at it. And again, you don't have to believe in God to relate to this, because even people who don't believe in God can look at it like, I really needed that at that time. I really needed those words, that encouragement, that appreciation a little bit at that time. And I find that when we are conscious of when these types of things happen to us, and we appreciate when things like that happen to us, like things happen just when you need them to happen, like these weird bits of coincidence, when you appreciate them, it makes the world of a difference. And when you become conscious of those things and not just say, oh, it was a coincidence, oh, it was this, oh, it was this. When you truly sit down and think about it, like, bro, I really needed that. I'm so glad that just happened. You don't have to attribute it to God. You don't have to attribute it to an energy or the universe or whatever, if that's not what you believe. But just being cognizant of it, aware of it, reflecting on it, and appreciating it, it makes a huge difference. So this is a message for all of us. I know sometimes life gets so stressful and so hard and so difficult that all we do is focus on the negative things. I've been there. I do that. I am guilty of that as well. But this is a reminder to myself and others that if we appreciate those moments where things are made easy for us, or we're reminded how special we are, or what makes us special, or what makes us good, when we need it, we become more appreciative of those moments, and it just gives us that little bit of energy we need for getting through the day or the week or whatever it is. So that's just my little 2 cents and me sharing my experience. And hopefully, if you needed to hear any of this, I'm awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad if that's the case, and if not, that's fine too. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a damn scrumptious day or night, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world and what time you're watching this. But I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I'm trying to go to sleep early. I think I've done pretty well for today. It's 11:10, not bad. Better than 1 a.m., right? So take care, stay scrumptious. God willing, I'll see you all soon. And Raven out.